Hello, my friends, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Revenge of the Party Nerds Popcast, coming to you live from a triple top secret hidden hilltop location way high up in the Holly Woodland Hills area of Los Angeles, California. I'm Richard Gabai, your favorite party nerd, joined by everyone's favorite revenge nerd, the legendary
Robert Carradine.
Robert Carradine. And we all know that, well, there's a lot of connection there. But we are joined today by one of my favorite actresses. I'm blessed to say has become one of my best pals in the business. We've done so many projects together. The legendary and wonderful Veronica Cartwright.
All right.
Now, usually I have my cup of coffee here, you know, which is kind of my thing and an inside joke. I mean, I know Dean Martin, they said it was really iced tea. It wasn't bourbon in there. Sometimes it's not coffee, sometimes it's water. But the last time Veronica and I got together and we talked about everything from A to Z in the business, it was over martinis and buffalo wings at the great Pineapple Hill Saloon in Sherman Oaks, California. So I just thought, you know,
an honor.
Why
yes.
not?
All
So
right.
long life and good health. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Bobby.
Salud y
Cheers,
vidas.
Veronica.
Oh gosh, I haven't had one of these in a year.
I haven't had one of these today.
Oh. Wow, that's yummy. I'd
Yeah.
forgotten. Where are the buffalo wings?
You know, Max, call in some buffalo wings from, no. We actually like them with the Old Bay. The Old Bay seasoning
Yes,
is very,
the
very
Old Bay,
good.
yes.
So, but Veronica, on all kidding aside, of course, I want to talk about the projects we've done together. And over the times we've gotten together, you've shared different, stories about the amazing things that have happened in your amazing career. But I mean, it started when you were a child. What was the first thing, really?
The first thing on film that it was 1957, and it was Zangray Theater, and Barbara Stanwyck was my mother.
Wow.
And I had to run out, and she'd been shot, and they poured Hershey's syrup on her because there was black and white television.
Right.
But so that was, I think, my first show. And then I did tons of commercials. I was the Kellogg's girl. I did, Sugar Smacks and Rice Krispies and Corn Flakes, and with all those cartoon characters that weren't there early on. That was pretty good.
Nice.
You just had to imagine they were there. And then I was Violet Rutherford in Leave It to Beaver. But I played a bunch of characters on Leave It to Beaver. In those days, they didn't care. Like, they liked you, they would bring you on. I played Peggy, I played Beverly, I think, but Violet was my big one because I gave Beav his first kiss.
Wow.
Lumpy sister,
right.
yeah, on the
Wow.
cheek, yeah, it was special.
Wow.
Lumpy sister.
Lumpy sister,
And Jerry Mathers is still out there, sort of.
Jerry
signing.
Mathers is still out there. I see him. I just did a convention in Hollywood, and Jerry Mathers was there. Yeah, and I did a Leave It to Beaver. We did a Leave It to Beaver one where everybody got together. Oh God, it was just ridiculous.
But it's fun.
It is. It's fun.
And the fans love it. And then, now was it you or your sister that did the Twilight Zone? And
Me.
you
did
did the Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah, I did the one that was I Sing the Body Electric,
Right.
which was the only one that Ray Bradbury wrote. So, and then apparently he got into a big fight with Rod Serling because he didn't like the fact that they were cutting it to put in commercials. And he was pissed off because a lot of his stuff wasn't in there. And apparently got into an enormous fight over the thing. And Rod Serling tried to explain to him, well, we can't put everything in. We have to cut things out in order to get it onto the TV. I mean, I don't know. It was ridiculous. But Rod Serling came in and did every show. And so I got to watch him do the preview for,
Imagine if you will. We're in Richard Gabai's living room with Veronica Cartwright and Robert Carradine.
But he didn't introduce people. He just told us what the story was going to be about. But it was kind of really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then early on, Rod Serling, Alfred Hitchcock.
Right. I was in The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock. But before that, I did the Children's Hour
Uh-huh.
with Shirley MacLaine and Audrey Hepburn, and James Garner's first movie, and Faye Bainter and Miriam Hopkins, who is really a piece of work.
Did Shirley MacLaine read your tarot cards?
No, that was too young, but she took me under her wing. She would, sort of talk to me and ask me, tell me, oh, don't cry here, honey, because you'll be out in tears by the time it gets around to your close-up and stuff like that. I don't know. And when I had this huge emotional scene in the Children's Hour where I'm supposed to tell a lie that I saw them kissing because it's about lesbians, and and they kept asking me to keep doing more and more and more. And when I did, I finally, William Wyler said we were going to shoot, so you automatically get a little more emotional. And then he turns to the cameraman and he says, now turn the camera on. At which point I just sort of became this, I was a mess doing that scene. And Shirley MacLaine came over, and Hedda Hopper happened to be on the set that day, and wrote this huge thing for Newsweek, 2 pages, all about me. And I was just like, it was unbelievable. And Shirley MacLaine just sort of took me under her wing, made sure I got a dressing room. I started hyperventilating. I'm leaving going, I hate that man. I just hate that man. And it was so interesting because it sort of broke that wall of not acting. You just were just like this raw human being. It was really interesting, and that's where Alfred Hitchcock saw me and requested meeting me. So then I was asked to go over to the bungalow, Alfred Hitchcock's bungalow. Of course, my mother had to drive me. I was 12. And I went in and I started talking to him. And I was born in Bristol, in England. And his favorite wine cellar was in Bristol. That's where he stored all his wines and things like that. So he starts naming wines that are very good. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. Was I supposed to write these names down so I would know later? I was 12.
You're 12 years old. So you're walking in, your mother's driving you, already have, an amazing career for such a young lady. But like when you're meeting Alfred Hitchcock, like were you like, this is a big deal, this is huge, I know what this means? Or were you just like, your mom said, and you're going to meet this director, you might be another movie?
Well, I had done 2 Alfred Hitchcock shows.
Oh,
I'd
right.
done one in
course.
1960 with my sister, actually, which was called the Schwartz-Metterklume method. And then I did another one where I was a witch. Which
The
was
Alfred Hitchcock Presents?
Yeah.
Right.
1962. And then this was 1963 that we did The Birds. But he was hysterical to me. He told me how to cook a steak because sometime when I would get married, I would need to know how to make a perfect steak. And I've tried it, and it
the good old
works.
days, a man would say to a woman, when you get married, you need to know how to make a perfect steak, right, Bobby?
It was the wildest thing. But he was fantastic to me. I think he thought of me kind of like his daughter. If we worked on the set, I would have tea with him in the afternoon, sit there, and tea and biscuits would come out in a china pot every afternoon at 4:30, like clockwork. And he always wore his impeccable 3-piece suits. And then I would have a chair, and he'd have a chair, and the biscuits were there, and they'd pour his tea, and the 2 of us would sit there and chat.
Well, I'm sure he loved the fact that you were,
a British,
British, yeah.
But I loved him. I asked him questions. He wasn't at all intimidating. I could, like all the jungle gym, and some of the birds were fake and other ones were real. And I said, well, aren't people going to notice that there's fake birds up there? And the ones on the wire were just pieces of flat cardboard. And he goes, no, your eye sees movement and you assume that everything is alive. And to this day, I can watch that scene, think I've found a fake bird, and then it moves. It's the weirdest thing. And going out, when we went out at the final scene, we go out to, there was no door. And I said, well, there's no door. And he goes, well, if I had a door, I wouldn't be able to see you, would I? Let's show her Rod. And Rod Taylor leans down and mimes opening the door, and this shaft about that big crosses our face, and then all of a sudden there's light outside.
Wow.
And he says, you see, that is the magic of movies.
Wow.
And it is, and you watch it, and you never even consider the
I
fact that there's a door.
I never thought that there was no door.
Right.
I'm going to watch that scene now.
Yeah.
I want to
It's-
see.
it's-
What's interesting is, and I'm refreshed because I mean I think maybe before we did Insight together, which is you know, I would like to project at least that there is some homage to Hitchcock in that film, even like from Psycho to other
Right.
films that he made, especially with the character you portrayed. What I've read or heard about him has never been sort of as charming as what you've said. Like the most famous quote I heard was somebody allegedly asked him, you know, what's my motivation? And he said, your paycheck.
Oh, well, he never was like that with me.
But I don't know if that's even
You
true or
know,
not, but I've
and
heard it so many
What was so
times. Yeah.
interesting was I remember being backstage and thinking, you know, you can't sit there and think of your bird that's died or your dog that's died. You just have to be in the moment and listen and watch what's going on. And then we did that whole scene in the with the birds come down the chimney. Well, there were 15,000 birds, and they were all up in this chimney in shafts, and we were all in a huge plastic bubble. And so all of a sudden these birds start coming down, and of course they go up, and they just kept pulling these shafts, and these birds were going up, and when they realized they weren't going anywhere, they just, boom, dropped. Well, poor Jessica, she trod on a bird, and oh my God, she was beside herself, and I'm watching her, and then I'm beside myself, and oh my God, it was just so intense. And then they come out after all the birds have now, they're walking around on the floor. A guy comes out with a broom, scoops them all up, sticks them back into a box, and up they went in the crate, and we shot it again. By the time we were finished, everybody was so exhausted, it was unbelievable.
And for lack of a better pun, that wouldn't fly today.
It was, but you know, I learned a lot on that movie. I learned, I guess it was intuitive, but, you know, because years later I thought, well, I'm doing this stuff, but years later I studied with Jack Garfine, who was part of the original group theater. And all of those things about, you know, you figure out what your character is, you write down your biography and stuff, and then once you have simulated it into your body, it's always going to be there. And that character, when you act, because you've created this whole sort of buildup of, you know, it'll just come out as that character. And it's true, and I didn't realize I was doing that.
Wow.
So it was an experience.
And then,
Is it true that Hitchcock was asked by somebody, Mr. Hitchcock, I've heard that you refer to actors as cattle. He says, no, actors are cattle. Did that
I
happen?
have no idea. No, I never had that experience.
Okay.
Now I know Tippy had some odd experiences with him, but I never did. I just thought he was terrific. Never tell dirty jokes around me, and then I go home and I tell the joke, and they, where did you hear that? Oh, Alfred Hitchcock was saying that today, and I had no idea.
I just
It
learned,
was just-
so Alfred Hitchcock and my grandfather had a lot in common, because I learned all of my dirty jokes from my grandfather.
Oh, okay.
But so now you're still a little kid, and you're starring in like the most important movie that comes out. What was that like for you sort of personally? Were you like in a bubble, like in a Hollywood school, and nobody was really around you, or were you
No,
out
I
there
went
and
to
people?
St. Jane Francis de Chantal, and all go, you know. And then it was a Catholic school, and then from there we went. But you know, you get a teacher, and then the teacher teaches you on the set. You have to
Yeah,
do
that
so
I
many
know. But
hours
I mean, but
a
like,
day.
if you would go out and around, did people fawn over you, grab you? Was there like pressure from?
No,
No, just all fine.
We were fine. I mean, my sister and I it was just, I don't know, it was like just a job.
You
I
were
mean,
doing it from you were doing it from day one.
I mean, I loved it. I loved doing it. I liked creating the characters and stuff like that. I don't know. I was just.
Right. I just mean sort of like well, I guess
like-
there weren't malls yet, but like going out and being recognized and all
No,
that.
we did do parades. My sister said if I ever write a book, I would call it "My Life as a Parade." I mean, we would go to, you know, down to do a strawberry festival and stuff, and you sit in a car and you wave, and we were always doing the Hollywood parade. I mean,
Right.
you know, but more my sister, because she was on the Danny Thomas show, Make Room for Daddy.
Right.
And then she did that, and then she went into Lost in Space. So when she was younger, people would sort of, but people recognize me by my voice, which is really odd. I'm surprised I don't do more voiceover work, because people recognize me by my voice, and they'll say, I know you, you're an actress. I heard your voice, and then, but they can't place what my name is, but I know you're an actress. It was just happened to me the other day in the elevator.
Right.
I mean, it was so weird. And then the woman goes, oh, I love you. Let's take a picture. And I said, oh, okay. So I mean, we just took a picture together. But she recognized me by my voice.
Wow. And so how about, so from child actress to like the adult grown-up roles, when did that transition happen? Or was it conscious? Did you feel it? Or
Well,
is there a role
I ended up I auditioned for The Sound of Music along with my sister, but I didn't get The Sound of Music. So, but the casting man, who was Michael McLean, said, I have you in mind for something. But we all went over to Austria because they were over there for 3 months doing
The Sound of Music?
The Sound of Music. And Heather Urich or Heather Menzies was her name at the time, got the part that I was up for. Well, I'm over there, and all of a sudden we get this call that I've been cast as Daniel Boone's daughter in the Daniel Boone Show with Fess Parker.
Right.
So we have to fly back and go to Utah, and I was, 15? And we go to Utah, and here I am doing this pilot. And so he had me in mind for something,
Right.
obviously. And here
Right.
it was Daniel Boone.
And you and Darby Hinton.
And Darby Hinton,
Yeah.
who I still see all the time. I mean,
He's
I love
a good
Darby.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, Darby's he's a character and a half. And I
Yes,
love
he
his
is.
wife, Shawn.
Yeah, she's
great.
great.
And all
Yeah.
those kids. I mean, God, he had like 5 kids. And
I think 4.
4.
Might be 5.
No, it's 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe it's 6.
I don't know, but half of them are married now. One's off in, Switzerland
Switzerland,
or
yeah.
something. I mean, they're all over the world. They're just crazy kids.
Yeah.
So,
So was that kind of, so then, like the stuff like...
but what
okay,
you
go
were
ahead.
asking.
Yeah, like,
but after Daniel Boone,
right.
I was only on it for 2 seasons, and we couldn't understand why we hadn't gotten my contract yet. Well, it turns out that the woman who was playing my mother refused to sign her contract if I came back, because they started giving me love interests, and she felt it was making her look old. And it was
wow.
so tacky. And so, I mean, I must say, it was called The Kiss, and they cast Fabian. I was 16. Fabian was a good 10, 11 years older than I was. So he gives me my first kiss. He stuck his tongue down my throat, and I thought, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, it was just like, oh my God. And then they go, Fabian, you can't do this. It's a 7 o'clock show. You can't do the tongue. Well, that
They weren't worried that you were 15. It was a time...
No, it's just the time
It doesn't
slot.
matter that he was 30 and you were 15.
Right, that doesn't matter.
The time slot, yeah.
So that went on for about 4 or 5 before he decided to calm down. I mean, oh my God. And then the cast and the crew, they weighted down my purse. They took my chair and flew it up in the air. I mean, they were just kidding me like crazy, because nothing like that. And I never even kissed anybody at that point. It was just like, what the fuck is this? Oh, Jesus. It was so funny, though. But she didn't like that. So I got, which was a horrible age, because I was 17 when they let me go. Well, who's going to hire me?
They should have let her go.
Well,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't. Went
It's
on for
okay.
another 4 years after that.
I know, they should have had like a wagon accident.
Well, because in real life, Jemima Boone was the one person who stuck with him she left college and came back, and she was with him when he died. She took care of him in his old age. To hell with the wife.
Yeah, the hell with the wife. Yeah.
Really.
So anyhow, you're 17.
You're 17.
So I couldn't get really any work because I was too young for one thing,
And
not
not
old enough
for the other, right.
not to have a teacher and stuff like that. I packed up and moved to England, and first day I was there, everything was stolen out of the car.
wow.
And So I didn't have anything, but for some unknown reason, I had my passport in my bra. Now, that saved me, and my American Express
Right.
traveler's checks. So I went and slept on somebody's couch for ages, and then I went on this interview. I had auditioned for Rocky Horror Show, but I wanted to play, God, I'm not going to drink anymore.
Okay, yeah. We're saving it for the end. We'll save it for the end. But I mean,
So I auditioned for that, but I didn't get the part that I wanted. I had to audition for Janet, which my voice is much too deep for Janet. But they gave me a glass of wine while I auditioned, and and then they offered me Old Calcutta, and
Wow.
I thought, well, I don't know, that's not why I came over here to England to, be doing Old Calcutta. So I said, no, I'm going to wait. Anyway, I auditioned because I ended up living with Edward, who was the guy who was the producer of Rocky Horror Show, and I moved in with him into a houseboat, and we were together for a long time. But I auditioned for this movie called Inserts with Richard Dreyfuss.
right.
And Bob Hoskins' first movie.
Wow.
And I was to be a porno queen junkie, and we rehearsed for 3 weeks and shot it for
It's a classic.
14 days, and it was X-rated, which, but it's now NC-17. You can get it on Amazon. It's a terrific movie.
It's a terrific movie. It is.
So then I came back, and I was working at a different restaurant, and this man just stops me, and he goes, weren't you in the movie Inserts? I said, yes. He goes, what the fuck are you doing here? I said, well, I have to make a living, for crying out loud. So then I thought, what am I doing here? It's a horrible restaurant. So I left there, and then I get this interview to go and see Jack Nicholson for Going South. So it was over at Paramount, and those the old part of Paramount is very short little alleyways,
Right.
doors that go off. So Jack comes out and he goes, hi, I'm Jack. And he goes, hi. I thought, oh my God, Jack Nicholson.
No kidding, your name's Jack Nicholson.
I mean, it was just like sort of a thrill. So he goes, come into my office. And of course, you'd heard all these different stories. So I'm walking down in front of him, and he goes, I loved you in Inserts. At which point, I think I must have gone the color of the sweater. He goes, oh, I love a woman who blushes. I thought, oh my God, this is just horrible. Anyway, we sat there and we talked, and he said at the end of it, you're a part of my gang, and he stuck my picture up in the wall with, Chris and Danny and all
Right.
these people. And I called my agent, who was Meyer Mishkin, who's like this.
Classic.
I was the only woman that Meyer ever had as a client.
Right.
Myra was a
And-
little person.
Yeah, little person. And but a dynamo, that man.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. And so I called Meyer, and he goes, oh, you can't believe everything they say. And I'll be damned if 3 months later or 2 months later they didn't call, and I was down in Mexico Going South, which, oh God, it was a lot of fun.
Right. I mean, you got to give us at least one. I mean, you're on the set with Jack Nicholson, Christopher Lloyd, on and on and
I
on.
know, it was all the Cuckoo's Nest people.
Right.
I mean, it was, but Danny was hysterical because they had Danny strapped onto a horse because his legs are so short. Because he's a dwarf. I mean, he's like, I guess he is a dwarf. He has short limbs.
He's not tall.
and-
Let's say he's
and-
not tall.
He's not tall. And they had tied onto this saddle, and then they stuck a poncho over the top of him and a big sombrero on his head. He looked like a mushroom up there. I mean, it was just, oh my God, it was hysterical. Anyway, Jack knew that I could ride, so he tells me I'm supposed to go and teach all of these other guys who had never even been on a horse before
Right.
to get on the horse, because we're supposed to be a gang and we're supposed to, be riding. Anyway, it comes to the night to do this scene where we're supposed to ride up to the end of the top of the hill, and then we ride off. Well, so here's Jack. He's going, ride like the fucking wind. I thought, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. And then when you get to the top, I want you to rear that horse. I thought, rear the horse? I never fucking reared a horse in my life. I said, okay. And here I am on this damn horse. And he's going, ride, you're going ride like the fucking wind. It starts to fucking rain.
Ride like the wind and the rain.
So here I am, and then all of a sudden I hear, rear the horse. So I did. I don't know how I did it, but I did. I reared the horse and spun around and went off.
Wow.
It was very cool.
See, Bobby,
Wow.
they let Veronica do her own stunts.
I'm telling you, I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Listen, you'd be really impressed to know that, because I had a horse, I bought a horse after that from one of the Wranglers. And I went English, and then I did Western, and then you had to go back to English again. And I was over doing Witches of East, what was I saying? It wasn't Witches of Eastwick. It was it Witches? No, what did we shoot? Oh, Alien. I was over there doing Alien. Sorry, I'm getting you see, I can't drink anymore. We were doing Alien. And the woman I rented a house from, because we knew we were going to be there for like 6 months, she said, oh, you ride? I said, yeah, I do. Oh, well, you must come with us on a hunt. And I said, okay. And she says, I'll call you, and when it's time, and you go down to Moss Bros and you buy your tweeds, and I'll be damned if she didn't call me. And I flew into Galway, and I went on a hunt.
In Ireland?
In Ireland.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
And I did 25 walls.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd never jumped those kind of walls before. But everybody's like, lean forward, and so you lean forward because you're going uphill, and I was on a 17 and a half hand horse.
That's huge.
Horse.
Her name was Morag, and they said, just give her head. She was unbelievable. So I did one wall, and I fell off and landed into the biggest cow patty. Oh my God. And they would go, oh, fabulous. Oh, one of us now. And I thought, oh, don't touch it. It'll drop off. I'm going, oh, great. So here I am riding around with a big piece of shit on my back. Oh my God, it was so silly.
But you were
I got back on, and I did 3 more walls, and I hadn't ridden in 6 months. So, you get tired. And actually, Philbus said to me, it was a good thing you did, because they lost 3 people into the Galway Bay.
It's beyond belief. Twilight Zone birds, aliens, Witches of Eastwick. How many iconic projects is one project? Let's take a look at this one.
Maybe rubbish bin.
That's it. Selling coconuts.
The first thing that I'm going to do when I get back is to get some decent food.
What an ensemble cast in this.
Yeah.
Then I'll taste better. You can see the other one over there.
I know that
Down
one.
the stuff like this.
And I'd rather eat something good. Right now, I'm addicted to food.
You should know. You know what it's made of.
Yeah, but now you've got really, really good friends.
I don't wanna talk about what
all
it
these
is.
sexual innuendos
this.
he's doing.
What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby.
Eat your patrol.
What? I'm trying.
Oh, God!
Oh, no. Oh! Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
There wasn't so much effects. Most of it was performance.
Well, they had 4 cameras. We only shot it once.
Wow.
So they had 4 cameras. And then I got that blood jet right into my face because I was so fascinated watching it. I leaned right into a blood jet.
So it just
I had
happened.
No idea.
It just happened.
It just happened, and
So-
then I said that. Oh my God! And then I backed up, and my knees hit the bankhead, and I flipped upside down. There were 2 cowboy boots sitting up, but I thought, oh, they're still shooting, so I rolled over and got back into the scene.
You had told me before the inside story when you got on the airplane to make the movie, you didn't know which role you had.
Well, I thought I was Ripley.
You
Yeah.
thought you were Sigourney Weaver's part.
I did.
I
I
can't
didn't
believe
even know I wasn't until, because that was the only part I ever auditioned for. Because I auditioned in LA and I auditioned in London.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea. That's all I'd ever auditioned for. And even when I got over there and they called and said to do costumes for Lambert, I said, no, I'm Ripley. And they said, no, you're Lambert. And I said, well, I have to call my agent. So I called Meyer back in LA and I said, aren't I Ripley? And he said, yes. And I said, the producers, I called them and I said, what the hell's going on here? So I said, I haven't even read the part according to Lambert. I mean, all she does is seem to cry all the time. I thought, oh my God.
Right.
So I had to reread the script and I said, okay, I think I can do something with this. And, but I mean, she really is the only wise one on the ship. When there's shit starts happening, she says, let's get the hell out of here.
Absolutely.
Nobody
Right.
bothers to listen.
Yeah.
Same thing with when I did Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Nobody listened to me. I mean,
Right, you're the smart one.
I'm the smart one. So I thought, well, okay. And then they said, well, she's emotional because she's actually the audience, how the audience is feeling.
okay.
So I thought, well, okay.
And
And
she's
then-
the one that caught the blood.
But when you get these things, and they always have the extras at the back of the movie, they have 11 extras, and I'm in 9 of them, so I was cut out a lot.
But they still line up like crazy to meet you at the fan conventions.
Yes, they do. They like
do.
me a lot.
You were the voice of reason also the first time. Not so much the first. Wait, the first time we got to work together, we hadn't met, I think, till we got on set. And we met on set, and you were the sheriff.
Yes.
This was an amazing cast and an amazing, huge film for me. Thank you so much again, because it just seemed like we kept making movies that were pretty good, but we just never seemed to have enough money. Let's take a look. Veronica must be in this.
Where nature rules, beauty reigns.
Grandpa, I'm cold. I'm cold and bored.
City girl, huh?
Hey,
She's now
Where are you
married to a
tracking?
baby.
These mountain people are crazy.
the world is full of surprises if you look at it with the right eyes.
And we shot this movie in digital 3D
It's a while ahead.
when you had to be crazy to do that with no money, but we did.
Come on, Buck. You want to be a pet, don't you?
We found that out about 5 days ago.
That's right. He's ours.
No way. Buck is ours.
I have the best sled team, and that'd be a fitting place for that dog.
I bet Jack is better. If you don't think so, why don't you race him?
Now there is an idea. The winner of the race takes claim to the dog. The wolf. To Buck.
Take 5 months to get that dog sled trained.
2 weeks from today.
If you're not
This
too
was
scared.
an
waiting for?
amazing experience for us.
If you want the dog to
Because,
start running, you say hike.
When did
It
you
was
say
like
no?
9 degrees,
It's only in the movie.
No cell phone service.
no cell phone
It was,
service.
it was hysterical because we were in these like cabins and we had to go stand in the middle of the road and go like this until you got a signal. And you'd be standing in the middle of the road having conversations about your phone.
One of the things that was funny about the weather is it literally was, oh yeah, bring this up. We were blessed to have this beautiful premiere at the Santa Barbara Film Festival, which is actually where Bobby and I became reacquainted after having not seen each other for a while. And there were freaking literally 2,000 people in that theater in Santa Barbara. It was a great time. But the funny thing about all of us in this business, like we love what we do, right?
Right.
It's 9 degrees, whatever. Like, I'm trying to shoot in stereo with this like literally duct taped together 2 cameras that just we had no business trying to pull that off. And I have a little kid. Chris was already 70 years old at least, I think. And we're all, you know who complained?
Who?
The script supervisor says, I'm going to call the unions on you. I said, well, it's a SAG movie and it's a DGA movie, but it's not Chris was standing in knee deep in snow, getting me delivering lines, and it's like the young script supervisors complaining that it's too cold, and even though she's in a tent with a heater.
Right.
And
but,
I can't remember her at all.
Well,
That's
she's
why.
actually a lovely person, and I think Maybe she regretted. I just remember that. Like we're all the team, you know. And I've got these movie stars that aren't complaining at all. I'm like someone who's, you know, boom.
Yeah.
So where was that town?
Lincoln, Montana.
Nice.
The home of the Unabomber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we cleaned up that town.
Yeah.
And I think around that time, we some of us tried to rid the town of alcohol by drinking it. It was,
and we were up in the house, and we would have to put $1 into the pot so that we could use their telephone, their landline, because
oh yeah, those were lovely
Remember that,
people.
yeah?
We had a lot of fun on that movie. And I remember talk about movie stars, Timothy Bottoms.
Yes.
He came and another guy I met on set. Somehow Billy was able to put together this amazing cast for us with very limited budget. And he shows up on the first day, and I'm sort of, you know, I'm a fan, you know, so I'm meeting him, and the guy is like, he comes spit shined to set, sharp as a tack. He hits his marks, doesn't miss a word. He's like, hey, Rich, there's a bar in town. Let's meet for a drink after work. I'm like, oh, okay. Friggin' Tim Bottoms wants to have a drink with me. I'm going. And I'm, you know, very business. I joke around about drinking a lot, but I'm really not, you know. So I go and like, Tim's there. He's like, hey, Rich, this was a great first day. Congratulations. Let's have a drink. We have a drink. He's like, let's have another. And I was like, no, I don't. I'm okay. I'm okay. Anyway, by the time I leave, Tim is like throwing a party. I mean, completely under control. But I mean, really, he's on the bar. They're blasting the music. They're singing. I'm like kind of like, should I stay here and see what's going on? It's getting really late, right? Late, and he is just throwing a party. And I'm getting right. I went to bed and left him there. I'm going like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? You know, call time was like 7:30. I get there in 7 o'clock. There's Tim Bottoms, shaved, clean. Good morning, Rich. How you doing, buddy? Let's have another great day. Just like, no,
nothing had ever happened.
Nothing had ever happened. No, let's go. Here we go. I mean,
that's a professional.
Yeah. That's that. I guess it's, you know, a generation, or just, you know, he was just, let's go. And I mean, and the whole show kind of went like that, and that led us to. Scott Peck, who was the cinematographer on Call the Wild,
Right.
I literally met him for the first time on set, you know? And, you know, we started working together, and some of the local Montana crew were like, hey, have you guys been making movies together for 10 years? And I was like, no, I like met him yesterday. It was like an instant synergy, and he brought me the script for Insight.
Oh.
Scott did?
Yeah. And so that script was one of the first scripts I read where I couldn't put it down. And, your role in Insight, I don't know if we have a clip or a picture or what we have, because this trailer doesn't really have her in it too much, but we can just play it for a bit to give the vibe of the movie.
And she's very good. She works all the time.
All the time, Natalie, yeah.
She had that movie, that La Brea. She was on La Brea for
Yeah. And that was like her third series, right?
Peter Rafferty, and you are not
Veronica.
or relative of
Veronica, look there.
Oh, I'm over there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm watching it there.
I died that night too. In the ER, we had Allison with the paddles and the electricity.
The great Sean Patrick Flannery and Natalie
Yes, I
Z.
played his mother in Touched by an Angel.
The young Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
resentment or anger.
Yeah, and Adam Baldwin. Man, I forgot about all the people we had in this thing. Yeah, for a while we had a real rep company going.
What, you think I'm hallucinating? You think I'm just making all this up?
Well, there's something you're not telling me.
It's like I'm reliving it over and over again through her eyes, like I was there.
He's a lovely actor. But talk about discipline. He's a swimmer. Yeah. He swims every morning.
Yeah.
I was there the night Allison died.
Yeah, and this was a, I think, 14-day movie with
Yeah.
one camera
Yeah.
body.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks
definitely.
terrific. It looks really good.
Thanks. I'm really proud of it.
Yes,
and Mosey,
it's very good.
and Veronica, we're talking about Hitchcock. I mean, I don't want to maybe spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's definitely a psycho connection with a mommy. Oh, hey, here's our premiere at the Newport Beach Film Festival with Insight.
Well, it was interesting because I remember I had those rags on my head, you know, because I'm supposed to be dying of cancer. And I brought when you had the screening, I took my friend Kay, who used to be married to Chris Lloyd, actually.
Uh-huh.
And she
I thought
said,
a few have used to be married to Chris Lloyd, right?
yeah. And so we're watching the movie, and she's all of a sudden she goes, I had been on the screen for some time, and then
There you go.
There I am with my lovely cancer hair.
There you are.
And she says to me, "Is that you?" She didn't even recognize me in the beginning. I said, "Yeah, that's me."
Well, that's called acting.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely a great.
But it was a really good movie, I thought.
Thank goodness, and I was blessed to have that A&E saw that movie, and then for a while we had the rep company because we did a couple of more movies together.
Yeah, I like the one with the airplane. That was
Nonstop. I don't know if we have any.
That was
if we have any
hysterical.
promo or stills of Nonstop,
That was
but
funny.
with Lacey Chabert and there we are on the set of Nonstop, and
There we are.
you're this kind of hipster hippie lady having all kinds of like reading tarot cards type of thing
Yes.
with Lacey Chabert and
Yeah.
Jim O'Hare and Drew Seeley and I can't remember who else, but
That was fun.
you were great in that film. And I know a funny story.
Is that thing around your neck to hold a knife? What
No,
is that?
that's on my eyeglasses.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nothing too mysterious about it. But a really funny thing about that movie is we finished the movie and had done everything on it. And then like after, right when our movie's about to be on TV, which was like a year after we finished it almost because of how it was scheduled, Liam Neeson had a movie called Nonstop come out.
Oh, that's right.
And they, not only that, it was like the exact same kind of title treatment that we did. We did it first, they did it in their movie. And then with our music publishing, because you get music publishing royalties, and I've written some of the songs and I work with the composers to publish the scores in these movies. All of a sudden, I go to my mailbox and there's a check for like $60,000 from ASCAP. I was like, whoa, man, a lot of people watched Nonstop on A&E. But it turned out it was money from the Liam Neeson movie.
Oh, no.
And I got a call, I was on a Friday, I partied all weekend. I'm like, I'm going to buy a new car or something. And I got a call on Monday from somebody from ASCAP. They're like, Richard, you need to send us that money back. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, that's from the Liam Neeson movie. I said, well, and by the way, immediately, it wasn't like Monday they called me, it was like a few days later. And that split amongst all the songwriters and all the composers.
Right.
And I sent everybody, I was like, hey, blah! I sent everybody their money. And so it just,
No.
so what they did is for the next 2 or 2.5 years, we just never got another dime.
Oh, well, that was nice that they let you
So they
keep
gave
it.
you an
Well,
advance.
yeah, it was in advance.
Yeah, that's all.
it wasn't. I didn't steal it. They took it, right?
Yeah. I played
I made
Liam,
Nonstop. Let's
what
go
do you
record
expect?
over
Yeah.
this. I made Nonstop.
I played Liam Neeson's mother, and he's 3 years younger than I am, in Kinsey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the TV show?
It was a movie about the sex therapist, who
Right.
discovered all these sex patterns and stuff like that.
Remember
Laura Linney.
because there was a Michael Sheen.
You mean like Dr.
Serious.
Ruth?
Well,
Yeah.
he was actually not Dr. Ruth. He was just like a famous
Oh, that's
sex
the Liam
therapist.
Neeson part.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't be Dr. Ruth.
No, he wasn't. Laura Linney played his wife, and I was his mother, and John Lithgow was his father.
Wow.
And so they dressed as it doesn't look weird. I'm 3 years older than he is, but it didn't show up that way. It was Bill Condon directed it.
Right.
And they had to do stuff in the 1800s, and so those were the dresses with the corsets, and you sort of had that. And I had to hold a 3-week-old baby. I can't even believe they had me do this.
A real one?
A real baby,
A real 3-week-old?
a real 3-week-old baby.
He was 6
And
weeks,
my-
but he looked 3 weeks. He could play 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was very easy. But the problem was, I had the day off, and I went out with my friends, because I used to live in New York, and we had gone out, and I got a little shit-faced, and it had started raining, and I slipped and flew into a fire hydrant that
Ouch.
hit my underwire on my bra and broke 3 ribs.
Oh.
And fortunately, I had the next day off, so I went down to St. Vincent's, and they took x-rays. Well, what can you do for broken ribs?
Nothing.
There's nothing they
Yeah,
can
you
do
wait.
for broken
Don't
ribs.
laugh.
Oh my God.
Don't sneeze.
So I go in and I said to the costumer, I have broken 3 ribs. He goes, no worry. and he put this corset on me and got me all organized. And all I was thinking about is, please, baby, don't wake up. And here I am with this 3-week-old baby in my lap and thinking, oh my God. And just sitting there and did the whole scene. And the baby didn't wake up. I thought, oh my God, thank God. And, you know, John Lithgow's going on. And so I had lunch one day when I went back to New York, I got in touch with Bill and we went out and I had lunch. And, and he said, you know, when we did that scene, I had broken 3 ribs the night before. He goes, nobody ever told me that. I said, I know, because the costumer was brilliant. And
you're
so.
Yeah.
And you're a professional.
I mean, isn't it? It's so weird. Listen, we broke my hip. This is, you know, just a professional job. I got 2 jobs in Vancouver to do. And one was The Good Doctor and the other one was Sabrina. So I had booked them, and then there was like a 10-day period that I had off so that I could do The Good Doctor. Was it The Good Doctor? Or no, I'm sorry. It was Supernatural.
And by the way, you've done every show,
yeah,
so you can just name it and it'll be right.
Supernatural and Sabrina. On my way there, I slipped on the escalator. My bag got caught on the escalator going up, and I fell, and a lady fell on top of me, and I broke my hip.
Oh,
Rebroke
man.
my hip that had already
Was she a bigger woman?
I don't know what it was. It was just the angle that it hit. She could have been bigger. But then this guy says to me as I'm getting off of the escalator, crawling out of this escalator, he goes, well, you have too much stuff on your bag. I said, oh, give me a break. I mean, I flew to Vancouver, 3.5 hours in fucking customs for, you know, it's just ridiculous. There's so many people going in there. Then I had to go for a wardrobe fitting at one place. Then another wardrobe fitting. After that, I got back to I thought it was a hotel. It turned out to be an apartment. And I worked for 5.5 weeks on a broken hip.
Wow.
Ouch.
And when I got back, I called my hip doctor, and he goes, how did you do this? You must have been in agony. And I said, I don't know. It was like when you work, and Vancouver's up and down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I did it, but
Your
hey,
adrenaline
I
kicks in.
did.
And
You
it's
just-
a
it's
recurring
like you don't-
theme as we talk is we all love working so damn much.
It's so weird. And I went to they asked me to get on the floor. I said, I can't do that. I said, I don't know, my hip's bothering me. So I said, and they said, oh, that's fine. So they ended up just doing it. I didn't complain or anything. I just said, I can't do that. But they had me in this fucking apartment that had no water, nothing, not one thing in there. And I had been up at 3:30 in the morning to catch these planes and do all of this stuff. 9 o'clock at night.
I'm calling them right now.
What
the hell are they doing? What did they do to my friend
So the 2
Veronica
guys
Cartwright?
from Supernatural were so darling. I mean, I went out and I got some food, and I said the next day, I said, well, I can't believe they didn't put, you didn't even have a bottle of wine? I said, no. They gave me a bottle of wine, a huge wine glass, and a bottle opener so that I could go home and have a glass of wine the next day. They were so darling, these guys. They were just really terrific.
Did they move you to a hotel?
No, I ended up staying there. And then when I did Sabrina, I had to change floors. And the mattress in this place was so soft, I had them bringing me up pieces of plywood to stick under the bed because I couldn't figure out what was going on with me.
What production company is this? I'm going to avoid
I don't know,
them.
but I know one thing. I know that Willie is going to be very upset, one of our producers, if we don't go back and talk about Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, all right.
Because
Well,
he's had a
Witches of
little
Eastwick.
thing since Witches of Eastwick. So let's bring up that Witches of Eastwick clip.
Oh, that was my favorite. I had so much fun doing this movie.
Well, we had a lot of fun watching it.
I'm trying to tell you they're selling pornography at Skylar's new shop. In the open. On the shelves. Children are looking at this. They're standing in broad daylight.
I can't understand one word you're saying. Not one.
They're standing in line. Looking at this. filth in broad daylight.
Right.
She made a scene at Skylar's today, grabbing magazines out of little kids' hands and then chasing them out of the store.
I think she's in pain. Clyde, too, he started drinking again.
She's twisted, okay? I mean, getting to me through my kid is sick.
Maybe we can help. Maybe we could put her out of her misery. Jane, don't. Oh, please, all of this moaning, they're lucky to have each other. If they don't appreciate that, I have no sympathy for them.
It's so easy for you to say you don't have any kids, you don't have a family.
You're my family. I don't want to lose it.
I just can't stand to see you upset.
So you're in Jack Nicholson's posse at this point, right?
Well, what I am is I'm the fourth witch.
Did you audition for this, or did Jack call you up and?
Oh no, I had to audition.
Because I mean.
But he wrote me this great card. He goes, let's go to hell together. I mean, yeah, it was, and I had it in my wallet for a long time, and then my wallet got stolen, so I lost it. It was good. He's just great. Jack is just, he actually fought for me to get this part, because the part was originally written for an older person, according to the book.
Right.
And he kept insisting that she's really the fourth witch. She's a contemporary. Mm-hmm. And the more she starts thinking that she knows that he's the devil, and she's trying to warn them, he has to destroy her in order to make her, stop messing up his little
grand
trio.
Scheme. Yeah, his
and
plan.
God, I had so much fun doing that movie. I mean, it was just like you don't get parts like that anymore. And I don't know, I just was able to do this. It was just so freeing somehow, the whole thing, he's inside me, Clyde, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that just sort of happened. And I remember looking up like, and here's the Boone Man with his eyes like, what the hell is going on? And years later, I ran into this woman, and she goes, hi, I was the wife of the Boone Man, which is a nice trick. And I said, oh, okay. I mean, I had so much fun doing that movie and growling and carrying on, and she was just, she was so delightful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And everyone, that's what I'm saying, like all of these amazing, iconic performances. Now, while it's not amazing and iconic for me to have two of my heroes in the same movie, I did have you both in the same movie, a TV movie I made for A&E, Mommy, I Didn't Do It, starring Danica McKellar and Jaleel White and Jim O'Hare, and I had two judges. There were two judges in my film. And I remember when I called you about playing the judge, like, well, she doesn't have that much to do. I said, she doesn't, but we'll hang out again. And do we have the Bobby Judge photo? And here's Judge Polk. Come on.
Yeah.
That's not you.
That's me.
It is?
That's him.
Oh, wow. It doesn't even look like you.
He didn't want to play a judge either, but he took the day's work.
Well, I like being on your set. What can I say?
Thank you. And you also loved that we had the soup Nazi in that scene.
Oh, yes. No more soup for you.
But I think on that note, I'll say cheers to my friends.
Cheers.
Veronica,
Cheers.
thank you so much for joining us here.
Cheers.
Oh, and we have to talk about The Man on the Inside. We have to
tell
people
yeah.
to watch that.
Let's not.
Netflix.
I still have some vodka left. So, Veronica, your latest show.
A Man on the Inside with Ted Danson, and it's on Netflix. And it's based on The Mole Agent, which was a Chilean documentary, which is absolutely hysterical and darling if you haven't seen it. And Ted Danson is solicited to spy on an assisted living home because jewelry keeps going missing.
Of course it does.
And then it's really darling. It's
cool. You have that
very
promo
sweet.
queued up?
I'm just worried about him. He's retired now. When Mom was alive, they lived this big, full life. I'm giving you a challenge. Find something that excites you.
It's a good challenge. I accept. Investigative assistant.
This necklace, my client's family heirloom, has gone missing at Pacific View Retirement Community. You would pretend to be a new resident. You're interested in a tour? We are, and be my source.
A man on the inside. I'm in.
Got your phone? Camera glasses? Recorder? Are you just tapping different parts of your body?
Yes, I left everything in my room. I'm just so excited. I'll be right back.
Your first job is to lay low, meet people, start compiling a list of suspects.
Hello, hello, hello. Get out of my room, weirdo.
I don't do yoga. I'm naturally flexible.
I don't want any.
Don't want any what?
Eat it.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I had impure thoughts about Pedro Pascal again.
A few bumps in the road today, if I'm being honest.
For the majority of seniors, the biggest threat to their well-being isn't an accident or health, it's loneliness. Our residents are vibrant, well taken care of, and they're together.
Most important thing to know, happy hour starts at 3 o'clock.
This place is insane. It's like high school.
When I said to lay low, what did that mean to you exactly?
It's very discreet, blended right in.
There's an entire pizza stuck to your back.
Thank God, I'm starving.
Something weird is going on.
What's got into you? I don't know how to be a spy, but it's good for me. Makes me feel useful.
All any of us really want is more time with the people we love.
This meeting of the resident council is called to order. All the food is too salty.
None of the food is salty enough.
Everything tastes like pennies, and none of us can feel our arms.
He'll be fine. Who's next?
It's really
Holy cow.
It's really fun.
That is amazing.
I had auditioned for a different part, and then they called me and they said, would you please do this? And because we would like you to be our comic relief. And I said, well, okay, it's not a huge part, but Robert Lloyd in the LA Times, he's talking about everything, and then he goes, and then there's Veronica Cartwright, part of the gang. A minor role, but it's Veronica Cartwright.
Yeah, it's Veronica Cartwright.
So I wrote him, I said, thank you. And
Thank
he
you,
said,
Veronica.
I'm a fan. It's really cute if you haven't seen it. It's a very sweet show.
Well, we're going to watch it now.
And Ted got nominated for a Golden Globe, so.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I just wanted to get that in.
I'm really glad you did. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
by today.
Thank you so much.
McMahon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess, sadly, that concludes another episode of The Revenge of the Nerd Revenge of the... This is getting to me as well. Let me do that again. Hey, friends. Is that good?
Friends, yeah.
That concludes another episode of The Revenge of the Party Nerds Popcast, coming to you live from my living room, which is a very discreet, hidden location, high in the Hollywood Woodland Hills area of Los Angeles, California. Cheers. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.